Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make these super cute quilted makeup bags. I am a small business owner and I have made and sold hundreds of these bags using this pattern. This tutorial teaches you how to make a fully lined bag with no raw edges on the inside. Here are the dimensions and materials you'll need to make this bag. The difference with my pattern is that it allows you to make the bag much easier, faster, and with greater precision, especially if you're making more than one bag at a time. I'll be making this bag using my own pattern. This pattern allows you to make the perfectly sized makeup bag. These are the best dimensions I've figured out after dozens of trials. If you'd like to support me and know how to make this makeup bag, you can find the pattern in my shop, linked down below, and keep watching. This is the outer fabric that I'm using. I'm going to trace the pattern onto the back of the fabric and then cut it off. You'll need 2 outer pieces, 2 lining pieces, and 2 batting pieces for this bag. After I'm done cutting my outer pieces, I'll do the same to get my lining pieces. I'll be using batting for this bag for the quilted look. It also adds thickness and structure to the bag. I used the fusible batting to make quilting easier, and I've already ironed the batting to the back of my outer pieces. The fabric is now thicker and ready to be quilted. I find the easiest and most precise way to quilt smaller pieces of fabric like this is to draw the lines using heat erasable pens. I would also recommend this method to beginners who are new to quilting because it really helps you to sew straight lines and squares nicely. And it's really easy to remove the lines as well. After you're done with quilting, you just need to iron it to remove them. I'm making 4 cm by 4 cm squares, but feel free to make them whichever size you prefer. Once you're done drawing the lines, you can now follow the lines and quilt your pieces. And this is how it looks once it's done. I've already ironed it to remove the lines I drew previously. Now the outer fabric looks nice and puffy, it's time to assemble the pieces together and start sewing the makeup bag. Place your zipper down on the right side of the fabric. The teeth of the zipper should be facing downwards. Then you'll put your lining piece down with the right sides facing each other. Make sure to match the pieces together nicely, then clip the layers together. Here's a demonstration from another angle. After you've assembled the layers correctly, you can clip them and then we'll sew right next to the teeth of the zipper. Then we'll flip it open and top stitch it. Top stitching it will make it look nice and neat and keeps all the layers in place. Now we're going to sew on the other side using the same method. Place the zipper down on the right side of the quilted fabric and put the lining piece down. Clip the layers together and sew next to the teeth for this side as well. Now this side is done, we're also going to top stitch this side. After finishing the top stitching, I matched the right sides of the outer fabric together. Next, I sewed along the bottom edge of the quilted fabric with a 0.5 cm seam allowance. I clipped my pieces together to hold them securely in place before sewing. I also backstitched at the start and end to reinforce the seam. Next, I matched the right sides of the lining pieces together. I made sure to leave a 5 cm opening secured with back stitches. This opening will be used to flip the bag right side out once it's finished. And this is how the bag looks like once I was done sewing the bottom edges. Now I need to rearrange the layers to sew the corners of the bag. To ensure the final product looks nice and neat, I match the bottom edges of the outer and lining pieces to the zipper, making sure they align with the zipper. I also clip the fabric in place to make it easier to sew. After clipping everything in place, I first sewed the side with the end of the zipper. Then I unzipped the bag halfway, ensuring the zipper was in the middle, and sewed the other side. Unzipping the bag makes it easier to turn right side out later. Most importantly, if you don't pull the zipper pull inside, you won't be able to open the bag once it's finished. Then I trimmed the excess zipper to reduce bulk. Next, it's time to sew the corners. I pinched the fabric together to make a straight line and clipped it to secure it. What I like doing is to sew the lining and outer pieces together during this step. The unique thing about my method is that it attaches the lining to the outer fabric, which is convenient because it prevents the lining from pulling out. Additionally, this approach speeds up the process significantly. I only need to repeat this step 4 times instead of 8. If I were to sew the lining and outer pieces separately. While it does take a bit of practice to sew the lining and outer pieces together at this stage, this method results in a finished product that looks neater and more professional. However, it is not compulsory. I also backstitched at the start and end for every corner to secure the seam. This is how it looks like when you attach the lining to the outer piece. You can also sew these 2 corners separately and then sew them together. Here is a closer demonstration from another angle. Usually, I'll just clip the corners together after I've made a straight line before I start sewing, so I can keep the straight line in place and it makes it really easy to sew it together. Then I repeated the same process for all 4 corners. After all the corners have been sewed, it is time to flip the bag right side out through the opening that we left out before. This has to be my favorite part of the process, seeing the bag come together. I like to trim any excess threads I see and check for any openings before closing the lining. Once I'm done checking, I pinch the opening and sew it close to the edge with back stitching. Alternatively, you can use invisible stitching to make it look more seamless. And this is my finished product. I really love this bag because it is super spacious and functional. It is a really great travel bag. I go everywhere with mine. If you liked this tutorial, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what I should make next.